Today's the day I am making a quilt out of every single fabric I own. I'm mixing scraps, yardage, big pieces, small bits, favorite prints, and less loved patterns. Everything is going into this project, and I think you're going to love this one. When I say I'm using all my fabrics, I mean it. They're all in play today, particularly because we are using such teeny tiny pieces, 2 by 3.5 inches to be precise, so the perfect size for using those smaller scraps you never quite know what to do with. So each block is made essentially out of 2 small rectangles, and we can make them 2 ways. We take 2 pieces, 2 by 3.5 inch pieces, and we sew them together, or we cut some 2-inch strips, sew them together, and press and then cut 3.5 inch pieces out of them. Whatever you prefer. We'll be doing it both ways actually. One is quicker, the other allows you more freedom when it comes to mixing fabrics, as well as more fabric diversity for your quilt. We started with our red today, doing rainbow colors as usual, my favorite color combo. You can never go wrong with a rainbow wash. No matter how simple your blocks are, rainbow washes always make them shine. As of now, I have absolutely no idea how this quilt will look once we're done. What I can tell you, and honestly, it's actually the most important part for me when I'm picking a pattern, it is going to be so much fun to make and so free flow. Just a pattern you can do without having to think too much about it, because these blocks, they are truly no-brainers. There is no sense, no scheme, no sequence. It just is what it is. 2 simple pieces sewn together that eventually turn into many, many blocks that make the absolutely perfect quilt. And now that I think of it, I probably should have done a scheme for my quilt before I even started doing blocks, because doing a wash sometimes means you don't get to use the same amount of blocks for all colors. But honestly, this is so much fun to do and so easy and quick too, I just can't be bothered. And I don't really know what my pattern will be in the end, so I may just make, a bunch of all of them at once. So I'm just going to make as many tiny blocks as I want and try to fit them all by the time I'm puzzling. And hey, maybe I'll add a pillow if I have too many leftover blocks. So far so good, we are moving along very nicely, and I am trimming all my blocks to 3¼ inches, even the ones where I use the smaller pieces. This is what we have, and I am very glad we're using all my fabric today, because I don't think my scraps would be enough. Or my yardage for that matter. It's a team effort. Hopefully we'll get some pretty awesome blocks to match the ones we already did today. These kinds of projects where I get to play with all my fabrics are really special to me. There's nothing I enjoy more than taking a piece of fabric and remembering something about the time I bought it or the specific project I bought it for. Well, playing with new fabrics is kind of awesome too, but you know what I mean. Anyways, I just love that I get to play with all of them. The yardage, of course, but also the leftover fabric I pile up over time. Both the strips, because I always have loads of those, and the tiny strips. And I need to come clean and confess, I almost did not do this quilt today because I was afraid it would be too simple. Can you believe it? I mean, I have done some pretty basic quilts by now, and if you've watched my videos, you know, but this was the one I got hung up on. First, it was the simplicity of the block itself. I was afraid it would be too plain or too boring. I thought of doing a rail fence or something a bit more complicated, but I just couldn't forget about this idea. I mean, more complex blocks are awesome, of course, but there's something to be said about simple, teeny tiny blocks that I think needs to be said today. If this quilt turns out anything like I imagined it in my head, it is going to blow you away. Also, complex teeny tiny blocks are a pain to make, and I'm all about having fun. And for today's quilt, because we're making so many tiny blocks, we truly want a little bit of everything. We want blocks that are light and blocks that are dark. We want blocks that are half and half, like 1 piece lighter and 1 piece darker for a smooth transition. And we also want some blocks that feature 2 colors that sit together on our transition, like red and orange, or orange and yellow, yellow and green. You get the picture. It's all about transitions, and if by the time I'm done you can't really tell where one color ends and the other begins, that means I have done my job right. If I ever had any doubt that working with scraps takes a lot more time than working with yardage, this quilt is the definite proof I needed. I mean, the difference in time I spent going through scraps, trimming the pieces to size, etc., is so much more than just taking a fabric and cutting what I need. And if you consider that for yardage, I can take just 2 strips, sew them together, then cut out all the blocks I need, I really get why so many people prefer to throw their scraps away rather than having to deal with them. However, I will also say that nothing quite compares to turning something useless into something stunning, so don't forget about that either. And you may as well get comfortable today because I am taking my sweet time. I'm slowing my pace, showing things a bit more in depth, and from what I've been seeing in my Patreon and my YouTube membership, you love it. So here's hoping I'm right. Also, if you haven't seen all the fun exclusive videos I'm adding on there, here is your official invite to go and take a look. I'm actually finishing this quilt on there, you know, doing the sandwich and the quilting and the binding and all the fun stuff. So, if you want to see how this story ends, I am leaving a link in the description for you. I want you to know that joining these communities supports my work and enables me to make new videos for you each and every week. So thank you for your support. I am very grateful. Now, I know I've said this was a rainbow wash, and it is how I will be referring to it throughout my video, but truthfully, today I am doing a unicorn quilt. It's a very special quilt for a very special little girl who loves all things unicorn, and I figured rainbow was the way to go. And as you very well know, I love rainbow everything. I think the colors are perfect and the contrasts are just right, but this pattern as is, this wash would look awesome in whatever colors you pick. You can easily do a wash of blues or pinks. Can you imagine going from a dramatic purple to a light baby pink? How stunning would that look? For today's quilt, because we're making so many teeny tiny blocks, we truly want a little bit of everything. And I believe that is what we're getting. I am using fabrics today I didn't even remember I had. Some real oldies that, as it turns out, I still have so much yardage of. I guess buying new fabric constantly will do that. You get very excited about the new shiny fabrics, and all of a sudden, whenever you're planning a new project, that's exactly where your mind goes to. And the old ones, the ones you've had for a while and have used, so many times on tons of projects, you're kind of tired of them, so they get forgotten and stored away. But the good thing is, because you haven't used them in so long, for this kind of project, when you rediscover them, it's like they're brand new. So win-win. All there's left for us to do now are the purple blocks, and I'm thinking I can add a sneaky pink to this, as a lighter purple of course. Because unfortunately, although purple is absolutely my favorite color in the world, I don't have many of them, and I don't think I can do the transition as smoothly as I wanted to. So yeah, pink as a light purple will work just fine. Yes, I know technically not really a rainbow color, and I know a lot of you get very heated when I add pink to my rainbow. We've been over this countless times, but it is what it is. Mike does too, but ultimately it's my rainbow wash, and I add pink if I want to, and I want to, obviously. And before you know it, we are done with our blocks. We have well over 100 of them, and I cannot wait to play with all of them. Luckily, I don't have to wait that long because that time is now. Except I have no idea what to do with these. Okay, let's see our options. Then you will let me know which wash you think works best for our pretty quilt. We could, of course, just mix them all up. All the colors mixed, not a wash, just a burst of pretty colors, like fireworks. I like it, but I think we can do better. We can also create some pluses, pretty colorful pluses. Now that would look really cool. I think this would work better if the colors were near each other in values. This way, I don't think you can really tell where one plus ends and the other begins. So, But my heart is set on a wash. There are, however, a couple of different ways to do that. We can try a more modern, cleaner look of some straight lines. I've done some rainbow washes with straight lines before and I absolutely loved it. We could also do it like a ripple, start in the center and grow from there. You know, like a ripple effect, you throw a stone in the water and watch it ripple. Oh, I love that effect on fabric and paint. Unfortunately, my table is too small to show you all the colors, but you get the gist. But I think I have just the right wash in mind. Let's see how I do. Hopefully they will fit my table, because I am using way over 100 blocks, I can tell you that right now. So originally I had a 10 by 10 quilt in mind, but I got carried away with the whole thing and ended up growing considerably. But I have to say, I could not have planned it any better. This quilt is going to be so special. I love it already. And I cannot wait to see how it will look once it's done. Because if it goes the way I imagine it, the blocks being so tiny means you will only see the colors, you know, the rainbow wash, and the definition of each block will just blend in. And I think that's a sign of a very successful quilt, when the blocks start just being blocks and become something much bigger than themselves. I don't think I've told you yet that obviously you don't need to make your blocks the same size I did. And while I don't advise you make them any smaller or not much smaller, I certainly think it will look awesome if they're bigger. Like if you happen to have a jelly roll bundle you'd like to use, you can just sew 2 strips at a time and then cut them into blocks. Of course, the size of the blocks will change, so watch out for that. If you cut 3 inches, you'll get rectangles. With a 1/4 inch seam allowance, you will get 4.5 inch squares. But I am finding that my 1/4 inch presser feet just change from one machine to the other. I know my 3 do like a lot. So the best course of action here is to measure, okay? Once you have the 2 strips sewn together, measure that width, and that is the length of your block every single time. And let's just say I have found this whole 1/4 inch presser feet have different sizes depending on the machine thing the hard way. It was the Bargello quilt, and I started sewing using one machine but ended up having to switch midway. So naturally, when it was time to sew all the rows together, they did not match at all. And I have found that for this machine, the 1/4 inch seam allowance is actually bigger than that. And it's not even the foot's fault, because it's the needle that changes, not the feet. So it may have just gotten decalibrated with all, you know, sewing over pin stuff. Be that as it may, watch out for that. As long as you sew your project using only one machine and you check your sizes before cutting, it doesn't really matter though. We have a lot of work ahead of us. These blocks just aren't going to sew themselves. And as usual, I am starting by sewing our pairs together, and I actually intended not web piecing today because this is one of those patterns that no matter how relaxed it is, we do not want to mess up our transitions. Plus, it's a lot of blocks and I don't want to miss any. With web piecing, I think it keeps me organized. I don't have to check, double check, triple check the pattern the whole time, because as soon as you sew the blocks, they're not going anywhere. They just fall into place. Also, it keeps me from changing things up the last minute, because you know me, if it's not sewn, it can be switched. And that's how I end up making mistakes. Unfortunately, again, my table just isn't big enough to have the whole quilt on my table, so no web piecing for me. And this is going along nicely. We are going through these pieces quickly, nothing to it, just sewing some pairs together horizontally, then going back and sewing some more until we run out of blocks. When I'm making a no-brainer quilt off camera, I usually like to put some music on, something I already know so I can sing along. I've tried podcasts and audiobooks. I know a lot of quilters like to listen to books as they sew, but I get so into it that sometimes, even before I noticed, I have stopped sewing and I'm just listening to the book. Has that ever happened to you? Get so caught up in an audiobook that you just stop working? What is your source of entertainment while you're quilting? Please let me know. I think I need some new ways to pass my time as I sew, so please let me know yours so I can get some ideas. Meanwhile, we are done with our rows, so it's time to sew the whole thing together. And if I was doing the quilt as you go, this is the part where I would be getting my backing and my binding to start. That way, when I started sewing my rows together, I would also be sewing onto the batting and the backing fabric, so essentially I would be quilting my quilt as I sewed. And voila, quilt as you go. But not today. Today I am keeping things traditional. I know just the kind of quilting pattern I want for this quilt, and quilt as you go just won't cut it. And before you know it, we are done with our sewing. Time to press all these pretty blocks into place. There was a lot of pressing today actually, but totally worth it because this quilt looks even better than I imagined it in my head. And here we have it, an awesome one-of-a-kind rainbow quilt that is so easy to make and a stunner to look at. Quick reminder that I will be sharing how I finished this beautiful quilt over on Patreon and YouTube membership if you want to follow along. I've had a blast, I hope you do too. Happy quilting and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye!